Here's a painful reality. The avoidant felt emotionally unsafe with you. If you showed up as a consistent, kind, empathetic, loving partner that gave them consistency and emotional availability, they felt unsafe with you. Let me explain why. If you're dealing with a dismissive avoidant or a fearful avoidant that leans heavily dismissive, their attachment wounds will cause them to feel unsafe with loving partners and safe with toxic and emotionally unavailable partners. This is a person that was on the receiving end of profound, consistent childhood emotional neglect. Their emotional needs were not met. Not only were their emotional needs not met, their emotions were rejected, dismissed. Sometimes they were even punished or reprimanded for having emotions. So what they learned is to stuff their feelings, suppress it, squash it down. They personalize that neglect, growing up to feel defective and unlovable, like there's something wrong with them. And to protect themselves, they formed walls around their heart. And they keep their partner on the other side of the wall. Their fear that largely lies in the subconscious is if I lower my walls and I let my partner in, my partner is going to figure out that I'm defective. They're going to figure out that I'm unlovable and I'm going to get rejected. So emotional intimacy feels deeply unsafe to them. Emotional distance feels safe because if there's emotional distance, there's no risk of them getting exposed for being defective. Well, if you're showing up as a consistent, loving partner, emotional intimacy naturally builds. You don't have walls with them. So there's unspoken pressure for them to lower their walls for you in return. And lowering their walls means rejection. It means they're going to get exposed as being defective. And if you are treating them well, it triggers that wound of shame. I'm not good enough for this. I'm not good enough to receive that love. That's when all the maladaptive self-defense mechanisms kick in to create emotional distance. And they can even abruptly discard you and tell you that they can't give you what you need, or blame it all on you to avoid that inner shame. But they felt unsafe with you. But they do feel safe with a toxic partner like a narcissist. That's because the narcissistic partner is dismissive of their emotions. That feels safe. There's no emotional deep expression. The narcissist is also emotionally unavailable, meaning they have their walls up. Well, guess what? Now the avoidant has an excuse to keep their walls up too. They both keep their walls up. There is no threat of emotional intimacy in that relationship. It's surface level. It might be toxic, but it feels safe. It doesn't trigger their attachment wounds. This is why they can more easily commit and stay with a narcissistic, toxic partner than they can a partner that loves them. Because the loving partner is the one that triggers their wounds. The narcissistic partner doesn't trigger their wounds. Yes, they can eventually grow tired of the toxicity, but that person doesn't trigger their wounds. Now, in the case of a fearful avoidant that leans heavily dismissive, the toxic narcissistic partner, that will trigger their anxious side because fearful avoidants have an anxious attachment as well as a dismissive avoidant attachment. And they'll constantly try to earn the love from the narcissistic partner. But with you, if you're emotionally available to them, well, that's where their dismissive avoidance side kicks in and that deep betrayal wound. One of the core wounds for a fearful avoidant is betrayal because in some way, shape, or form, their parents or caretakers betrayed their trust. They weren't there for them the way they were supposed to be. So they have this feeling like, when is the other shoe going to drop? So when you're showing up consistent and loving, they don't trust it. They look for any inconsistencies in you to justify their fears that the other shoe is going to drop. So they don't feel safe with you, whether dismissive or fearful. If you are consistent and loving, unless they heal their attachment wounds and work on themselves, they don't feel safe with you, but they will feel safe with a partner that treats them poorly. It's the upside down world, unfortunately, when it comes to this kind of insecure attachment. Healthy feels unsafe and unhealthy feels safe. So it's not your fault. It's not that you weren't good enough for them. It's that their wounds cause them to feel unsafe receiving actual love.